Hello students, so welcome back to the practical series of Enterprise Java. So let's continue with our practical list. So the next practical is practical number 3B. Develop a simple servlet question answer application using database. So what we have to do over here is we have to develop an quiz competition, a type of quiz question answer type, where the user will select the options from the questions and we will validate all the responses from the user and display the final output from it, right? So let's understand what all steps we have to do over here before starting with the program. Okay, so let's look at the steps. So first, what we have to do is we have to create a database and insert the questions in it, right? So first step is to create the database. So once the database is done, after that what we have to do is we have to create a page where the user will click on the button to start the quiz, right? After that is done, we need to create a servlet that will display the questions from the database, right? And where the user will select all the options. So once the user finishes, what we have to do is we have to go to another page, we have to validate the response and display the final result of it. Okay, so let's move to the code now and look at the implementation. Okay, so we are into our code. So the first thing we have to do is we have to open MySQL, right? After my opening SQL, we have to write admin the password. So once we are open with it, now what we have to do over here is we have to create a database named as QADB. So create database QADB. Now we have to move into the particular database. So use QADB. Now here we have to create a table where we have the question number, we have multiple options and the answer for it. So create table, quiz, question number, that will be varchar 5. Now we'll give it primary key so that no repetition is allowed. Then we have the question, for that we have varchar as 100. We have option 1, that is varchar 50. After that we have option 2, we have varchar 50. We have option 3, that is varchar 50. We have option 4, we have varchar 50, and the last will be answer for it, we have varchar 50. Now we click okay, some typing mistake. A table is created, right? Now we'll, through the description, we'll check the table. So our table is properly created. Now we insert values into it. So insert into quiz values. So the first will be 001. The first question is, what is the capital of India, right? So here we'll write New Delhi. After that we'll write Kolkata. After that we'll write Chennai, and after that we'll write Mumbai. These are the 4 options, and after that we have to write the 5th option, that is the correct answer, right? Click enter. Now we have to fill the remaining data, so we'll fill it up fast and get back. So here we have inserted all the data, right? So after that we'll write select star from quiz and check all the data which is inserted. Our data is properly inserted. Now we move to our code. Here we'll create a new project, web application. Here we'll name it as practical 3B. Click on next, and click on finish. So our project is created. So in the index.html file, we'll write over here is quiz application, and here we will write, so here we will write in one h1 tag, welcome to quiz servlet. Right after that, what we will do is, in the next line in the h1 tag, we will create one anchor tag to move to the next page. So here we will write, click here to start quiz, we will write one href tag. In the href tag, we have to give the name of the servlet. So for that, we will create one servlet over here, web pages, right click, new servlet, and we will give it name quiz servlet. Add to deployment descriptor, click on finish. So here basically what we have to do is, we have to load all the data, right, from the database and display it on the screen using database. So here we'll remove all the unwanted code which is there. Here we'll write public void do get, because the request which is coming is using an anchor tag, and anchor tag is a get method. Response throws IO exception, servlet exception. So we are done with this. Now we have to write response dot set content. So here we'll write text HTML character set is equal to UTF-8. After that we'll write print out is equal to response dot get writer. After that, what we will do is, we will create one form tag, and we will close one form tag. So basically in this form tag, what we have to do is, we have to pass the action. So the action will be show result, and our method will be post. So for that, what we do is, we create the package and we'll copy the name of from here. So we create a servlet. Now we create another servlet, we give it the name show result, click on next, add to deployment descriptor, click on finish. So here we will remove the unwanted code. Okay, we'll come back over here later. First we'll finish over here. So after that, what we will do is, we will add one try catch block. In here we write exception, so that if any of the exception arises, then we need to print it on the screen with exception. Okay, so now the first thing over here we have to do is, we have to declare the driver name, that is class.for. So from where do we get it? So we'll click on services. Here we have configured our database and everything. Here we'll refresh our data again once if you want to. So now here click on properties, go to the driver class which is there, click copy it from here. Before that, the most important thing over here is, we have imported the, for that we have to import MySQL connector from here, right, through that. Okay, so MySQL is connected. Now we have a connection, and that connection is my Java SQL part. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So here we have three parameters, so we'll add these codes over here. The first one will be the connection string. So for that, again we have to go to our services, right click on our QADB. Over here we'll copy from JDBC till our database name. We'll click on OK, we'll click on close. Here we'll close it. Here we'll copy, the username is admin and the password is, username is root and the password is admin. So we are done with this. Now we have a statement, SQL statement is equal to const dot create statement. So now we are ready to create our statement. We will have the result set over here with us. So basically in the result set we can pass our SQL statement. So statement dot execute query. So here we'll write select star from quest because we want to get the whole data from the table. Here now next we will print one table tag over here because we want to display all the data in the table format, and we'll close the table over here. Now we'll have one border for it. So once our border is done, we'll initialize one question number over here which will iterate through the whole process. Here we'll write the while loop till we have the next data loop through it. So once we are inside it, what we will do over here is we will first initialize the question number because it starts from 0 and we want from 1. Now next we will do is in the table we will create 2 columns. The first column will contain the question number and the second column will contain the question. And going below, the first column will contain the radio button and the second column will contain the question. So it keeps on continuing like that. So here we'll add the tr tag, open the td tag. Here we'll close the td tag. In between, what we have to write is res dot get string, and from the string we will get the question number. So first part is done of the td tag. Now the second part of the td tag is our question. So res dot get string. So from the string we get the second value, that is our question. So first part is done over here where we get the question number and we get the question. So now what we have to do over here is now we have to again insert one td, close the td and close the tr. So what we have to do over here is first of all we have to add one input type radio is equal to radio. The name of the radio will be our question number. Why? Because you have to give a unique value to it. So the unique value will always come from our question number and the value of that unique number will be our options. So here we will write 3. Now once this is done, we have to show the options to the user because here it will not directly display that question to the user. So here we'll again create one td and inside that td again we will give the same string 3. Now what we will do over here is we will copy this statement because it will repeat for the remaining questions as well. So here what we will do is 4, 5 and 6. Here we will do is 4, 5 and 6. So once we are done with this, below the table tag we are in the try block. So below the table tag what we will do is we will have 2 buttons so that user can click and move to the next page. So the first button will be reset if the user wants to clear the data. Input type is equal to reset, and the second button will be submit button. Input type is equal to submit, value is equal to submit. So here we are done with our form tag and displaying of the data. Now next what we will do is we will go to our show result. Here the method will be post because after submitting we have written the method over here as post. So here we will start with public void do post. We will have http request, http response, and here we will write response. Throws IO exception, servlet exception. Right, here we again have to write response dot set content type, that will be text HTML, character set is equal to UTF-8. After that, we have to write print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. Now once this is done, what we have to do is we have to get the data from the database so that we can validate it with what the user has selected from the radio button. So again, we will do the same, that is class.forName. Now instead getting it from the services, we will copy the driver from here, our driver, and after that we will have connection string. So we will have connection Java SQL con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So again, we have three strings over here. So my username is root and my password is admin, and the connection string we will get it from quiz servlet. But from here we will copy our quiz servlet connection string, we will paste it over here. Now again, the same process we have to do is we have to get the statement. Statement is tmt is equal to connection dot create statement. So here we are ready to create our SQL query. So we will have result set rst is equal to tmt dot create query. Here we will get the data from the quiz part. So once we are over here, now we will create two variables, that is count. So if how many correct answers the user is selecting, we will display it over here, and we have a question number that is 0 again. So we will do the same process, that we will loop through the data, right? With looping the data, we also have to do one task, that is we have to check whether the user has properly given the answer. So we will first get the answer, and the answer column will be which one? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It will be the 7th column. Here we will give index dot equals. So with equal we have to give request dot get parameter. From that parameter we'll do double quotes to convert it into string first, and after that we will write the question number. So what it will do is increment one by one. So basically if we go over here, so basically from the first one we have the value over here, from the first one we have the second value, from the first we have the third value, from the first we have the second value. So over here the name is same, but the options are changing. So from the first block it will display all the 4, from the second block it will display all the 4, from the third it will display all the 4, fourth it will display all the 4, and from the fifth it will display all the 4. So according to that we are getting the data over here. So if the user has properly selected, we will increment the counter, and we will also print it on the screen using the h1 tag. Correct, that the user has entered the correct value. If not, we will just display on the screen using the h1 tag incorrect. And once the loop is completed, outside the loop we will display the user the total number of correct answer they have submitted. So your score is, and we will display the score over here, count. So here we have completed our code. So now let's check our output for it. Okay, so here our output is ready. So let's click to start quiz. Okay, so might be we haven't given the anchor tag. So here we'll give quiz servlet. So we are done with that. Now let's click on quiz servlet. Once we click on the cliff servlet, we get the 2 columns and we get the options. So what is the capital of India? New Delhi. We select the right option. Okay, one more change we have to do over here is, which we forgot. Over here in the value section, we have to add single quotes. Here we have to add single quotes because the value is in string. So we have to do it. So here in the browser, we again load our browser, so that here we click on New Delhi. Here we select the wrong question. Here we select the right question. Here we select the right question, and here we select the wrong question. So let's click on submit button. So once we click on the submit button, we get that we have entered 2 incorrect and 3 correct, and my total score is 3. So with this, we complete our practical, that is 3B, that is of quiz application. Thank you so much. Hope all of you have liked the practical. Thank you so much.